Mr. Barthold, can you help me with explain a little bit on this? I was just looking at the chart here, and it says that in the calendar year 2027, someone that's making less than $15,000 will see an increase in federal taxes by 18.7%. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Gomez, and that's a consequence of loss of premium tax credits, health care.
Okay, so, and then in calendar year 2020, anybody making less than $15,000 sees an increase of 53.5%. Anybody who's making $15,000 to $30,000 sees an increase by 11.7%. Is that correct?
Yeah, what calendar year are we in, Mr. Gomez?
2029. It's the next page.
2029. Yes.
And then we see the next page in 2031. Anyone making less than $15,000 sees a, check this out. I thought this was a mistake. I thought I was not reading this correctly. An increase in their taxes of 74.3%. And from $15,000 to $30,000 of 20.6%. Is that correct? Or is that, did you guys make a mistake, or is that like?
No mistake in the numbers, but an important thing to remember is in lower brackets, it's actually hard to measure the denominator because there are some taxpayers that are getting refundable tax credits, for example, and so there's some with negative tax rates, and so you're adding up some with negative tax rates and positive tax rates, so it's like dividing a modest change over by zero.
Well, here's the thing. This is what your own tax brackets suggest. And one of the things that we have my Republican colleagues over here saying, hey, we're not doing tax on tips, which we know is actually pretty limited. Oh, we're not going to do X, Y, and Z, but we're screwing over people who are making less than $30,000 a year. And what I actually find offensive is because my parents never made more than $38,000 a year in their entire lifetime after working 4 to 6 jobs a week to make ends meet, right? And then we have Donald Trump and his chaotic, reckless tariff policy that is creating so much uncertainty that it's driving up the cost of living in this country. At first, it was $4,900 a year. Then it became $3,800 a year. Either way, the people at the lower income brackets are getting screwed over by a Republican majority that doesn't give a damn about them. Then on top of that, we know this, the people that are under $30,000 a year are most likely to be on Medicaid, most likely to live in rural areas, more likely to be in urban areas that are the working poor. But then they're bragging about, you know what? The top income brackets make the most money, so we're going to give them the highest amount of refunds. That's insane. And they have no shame about it. You have no shame when it comes to hurting working men and women in this country. You know, I'm somebody that was supposed to not go to college. I ended up working at Subway and Target. I would make $700 a week working not 9 to 5, but 5 in the afternoon to 9 the next day. I had zero health care. And to me, you would tell somebody in my place, you know what? We're helping you out, just giving you a little bit. But the billionaires are the ones that make the most money and deserve the most help. That's your logic. But I like to quote one billionaire when it comes to Warren Buffett that says that a lot of people shouldn't be punished because it wasn't determined on what they did. It was the happenstance of their birth. But you all want to like tout a tax plan that increases taxes on people making under $30,000 a year, the folks that are struggling, and then cutting their Medicaid on top of that, but yet you want people to have more babies. That's the most insulting thing I've ever heard in my life.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. Okay. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary. So
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job, machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen. And if my assessment is correct and they probably will happen, then we need to say, what are we going to do about it? And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary. Now, the output of goods and services will be extremely high. So with automation, there will come abundance. There will be almost everything will get very cheap. I think I think we'll just end up doing a universal basic income. It's going to be necessary. The harder challenge, much harder challenge, is how do people then have meaning? Like a lot of people, they derive their meaning from their employment. So if you don't have, if you're not needed, if there's not a need for your labor, how do you, what's the meaning? Do you have meaning? Do you feel useless? That's a much harder problem to deal with.
The big political and economic question of the 21st century will be, what do we need humans for? Or at least, what do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
Uber, Bitcoin, self-driving cars. Combine those three together, and you have the self-owning taxi. A car that is a corporation that owns itself, pays for the car lease, the car insurance, and the gasoline from the revenues it makes, giving passengers a ride, and there's not a single human involved in that matter.
Who knows, maybe we'll pay off our $35 trillion, hand him a little crypto check, right? We'll hand him a little Bitcoin and wipe out our $35 trillion.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. We will, and if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the NWO book and the Crypto Teacher book. The NWO book shows you how the world really works, and especially in the times that we're in right now, it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep. And in 2025, the NWO is going to turn on that alarm clock. It's up to you whether you wake up or not, whether you're going to hit that snooze button. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And guys, we're going to see stablecoin regulation, which is the foundation of this new digital economy, and it sets up down the road 2028, 2029 for that free money. And I told you that we would get a first quarter pullback, and that's what happened. And then also I told you that tariffs would get stepped up, and that's what happened. Layoffs would pick up. That's what happened. So the Crypto Teacher gives you a warning like Noah and Gilgamesh, whichever one you want to call it. But we will get some type of reset this year. Most likely stable coins are the catalyst. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. We have trillions of dollars sitting on the sideline in money market accounts. And then plus, we know the Fed is going to cut rates. Not a lot this year, but they're definitely going to cut rates. So I see us getting a correction and then moving back up. And then we have the two powerhouses, China and the U.S., will step up these tariffs on each other. And of course, guys, that's going to hit certain parts of the market. But then we also have the hacks. We have the Birdman. We have the drums are beaten, and more movies to come, as we can see. And inflation is going to stay sticky, and layoffs are going to step up while they move in all this automation. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now we have Bitcoin and crypto flat. Don't forget CME opens tonight. And we know it's going to move the market. Once yield rates get to move in the morning, it will move the market again. And like I stated, if we didn't get any good news this week in regards to the markets, Trump doing something, the markets will pull back on Monday. So if we don't get any news, we'll definitely be pulling back. Now, we had Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy delivered 15 years of S&P returns in just 12 months. And we know in crypto overall has been crazy returns. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we're still early, especially when it comes to those utility cryptos. Now, guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We had yield rates, the long end was down on Friday, but definitely made a comeback. We had the dollar up on Friday, but we know that dollar weakness is going to gradually go into effect. Trump needs that weak dollar in order to bring this debt down and for us to go to a level playing field. And then we have volume in crypto down. We have Tether and USDC. And then, of course, guys, we have the Fed. Repo at $136 billion on Friday. Make sure you're pulling it on a daily basis during the week. And we know the Fed wants to keep rates higher for longer to destroy this legacy market so Trump can build this fourth industrial revolution. And we have Trump going after Fed's Jerome Powell again. And we know it's nothing but the Hegelian dialectic, but he's setting up for the narrative that we know what's going to happen. The Fed is definitely going to be too late. It's already been so much damage anyway to the economy. We know this legacy economy is definitely collapsing, and the consumer is definitely collapsing. If you like to read and like to look at numbers, the only thing you have to do is go to the Fed website, and they'll let you know how much trouble the consumer is in. Remember, delinquencies are at an all-time high, even past 2008. And that's the reason why the Trump administration is pushing financial literacy. And I'm an old man, and I've never seen financial literacy pushed so much in my life. And guys, you heard Congress on the Trump tax bill. If you know about the new economy, if you know about the robots, algorithms, and drones, these dates and the amount makes all the sense in the world because they're adding in universal basic income. These machines are going to put 60 to 70% of people out of work. All these repetitive jobs, call centers, accountants, lawyers, doctors, judges. I know it sounds unbelievable, but because we're moving into a system where you don't have to worry about knowing whether somebody was guilty or not. They're going to know you're guilty. I went into Lowe's yesterday, and that's all I saw was cameras, and this camera was actually recording me just looking over merchandise. It's definitely unbelievable. So they'll be able to track everything you did from the morning to at night. And we know we've seen plenty of movies that have been over this scenario. It's nothing you're going to be able to get away with. Because if this technology is working in China, and you're talking about over 1 billion people, it's definitely going to work in America. And I'm going to leave the link to the video I did with RFK Jr., because RFK Jr. mapped this out perfectly. He probably had one of the greatest speeches behind his uncle ever, letting us know about the technology and how powerful the technology is. And you can use this technology to control humanity. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, we have the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Spot ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Spot ETFs were up at close on Friday. Now, getting over into a little crypto news. We have Top Win to rebrand as Asian Strategy and partner with Soar Ventures to build a Bitcoin treasury across Asia. And again, Michael Saylor sets out the blueprint. And we know the emerging markets are going to lead this fourth industrial revolution. The foundation of all the major crypto projects are in the emerging markets. Now we have France to boost security for crypto founders after kidnapping attempts. And when you watch the video, they had to be amateurs. It definitely looked like a movie. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And lastly, we have Webull Pay partners with Coinbase for custody, trading, USDC, and staking, launching June of this year. And we know the ties to China. And then also, when you look at the investors at the beginning, you see the Rothschilds when it comes to Webull. And we know the reason why they're doing this partnership, because they're getting ready for tokenization. We know everything is going to be tokenized and put on blockchain, so the economy can run without a human involved. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.